Hi, thanks for clicking on my video. I'll be starting this week with dosa, and unlike last week, there isn't much dosa this week.
I've been going to the places where we used to meet before, cause lately I've been feeling so confused.
I had this dosa with sambar and it tasted good.
Ways I never see.
You might have noticed I used my hands to eat. That is because it's a cultural thing.
So tell me why.
For lunch, I had more kutu rice with some chips. This was the last handful of chips and no more chips for now. I snacked on some pomegranates and drank some milk. The pomegranates were sweet. I don't know why that one seed moved. Hopefully I'm not haunted. For dinner, I kept it simple. I drank some coconut paisam and ate carrots and cucumber. The carrots were bitter and the cucumber had no taste as usual. Today's breakfast would be milk and a few biscuits. I did not include the footage for lunch cause I was watching a movie, but I ate sambar rice. In the evening, I drank some pudina juice.
If you don't have feelings, my heart won't let go so easily.
For dinner, I had some adai.
Words don't change the truth. So I
Tell me if you like this setup in the comments down below.
fell in love with you.
I'm trying my best to deliver good content with whatever I have for now. So for my effort, press the like button, and if you would like to watch more food videos, subscribe and turn on the bell notifications to be the first few to watch my videos.
No, I'm still in love.
I had this adai with some butter and rich gourd chutney. For the first meal of the day, I had ragi idli with rich gourd chutney. The chutney was spicy and some oil would have been nice. For lunch, I had paruppu sadam with vattakuழம்பு. Even though I am vegetarian, I get enough protein from my lentils. After this, I had some kutu rice with vattakuழம்பு and chips. Vattakuழம்பு makes an amazing side dish with anything.
Because I never want this moment to end. Listen close.
For snacks, I had some corn with salt in it. I don't know why the corn felt rubbery to me, but it tasted fine. Sweet and salty flavors work well when paired together. And this was the most amazing corn I have had. For dinner, I made turai sabzi. I took 2 small sized red onions and diced them finely. 6 cloves of garlic roughly chopped, 2 chilies thinly sliced, and the star of the show, half rich gourd chopped into 4. Take 2 tablespoons of ghee and add it to a hot pan. Then add half teaspoon cumin and 1/4 teaspoon soft seeds. Let them roast a little, but don't burn them. Add the garlic followed by chili. I let the garlic brown a little, but this is up to you. Then I added my chopped green onions and let them brown.
And worrying. Another day.
I modified the original recipe according to my taste.
And you'll shine just like I know that you can do. Cause you are my sunflower. Your soft petals feel like lace.
Add half teaspoon turmeric powder followed by half teaspoon coriander powder and 1 teaspoon red chili powder. I underestimated the spices and had to take some time to cough. Then add salt as required and fry the mixture till the spices lose their raw smell. Once the spices lose their raw smell, add your rich gourd. After adding the rich gourd, make sure to toss it so the spices coat it well. You can add a splash of water if anything is sticking to the bottom of the pan. The rich gourd will release water when cooking, so make sure you don't add a lot of water. Once coated with spices, close the lid and let the steam cook the rich gourd. Remove the lid a few times and give the ingredients a toss cause you don't want them to burn. My induction stove kept cranking up the heat on its own, so I had to stir it every 5 minutes.
You listen to
Once you feel like the ridge guard has shrunk, make sure to taste it to see if it has cooked. If it has cooked fully, add your tomatoes. We are adding something sour so the ridge guard stops cooking. I cook for 2 minutes after adding the tomatoes cause I wanted to maintain the freshness of the tomatoes.
But I know you'll find it.
Then garnish with coriander and get ready to serve. This curry took me around 40 to 45 minutes to make, including the preparation time.
Time forward. Your petals feel like
I tried making lacha paratha, but it became wheat parota. The dough was prepared 1.5 hours in advance. Take a good amount of dough and make a chapati. Mine didn't turn out round, but trust the process, they say.
my days.
After you have rolled it as thin as you can, add some melted butter and atta to this layer. Then form pleats out of this. After making the pleats, lift them and roll them to look like a rose. Then tuck the end at the bottom of the rose and roll it a little thick by applying very less pressure. We don't want the layers to become one. This didn't come out round, but the parota I made when I wasn't filming came out round, which is what I have on the tawa.
Girl is the one I wanna be with. Didn't know it till she was already leaving.
When both sides are half cooked, add some melted butter or ghee. Let it cook fully. Once done, you can remove it from the tawa. I did my best and these are the layers I got.
Ask her for her number or her name, and I don't know if she just
I
wants.
had this with some sabzi I made earlier and it tastes so good. The sabzi tastes fresh because of the coriander and the tomatoes added to it, and the parota was a little heavy.
Open up.
This was a very good dinner and I would make it again. For breakfast, I had ragi idli with 2 kinds of chutney. First, I had it with tomato onion chutney and this tasted so spicy and refreshing. Fresh coriander was added to it, which made it really refreshing. Then I had it with the ridge guard chutney. The tomato onion chutney outdid the ridge guard chutney. Because the idli was very soft, it kept breaking off.
More than a
For lunch, I had some parpasadam with vattakurambu. The bland rice with flavorful vattakurambu is a delight. When I say bland, I mean it has only salt.
she's drinking.
For dinner, I had some rava upma. It was so soft and melted in my mouth. Some coconut chutney would have been good.
This midsummer weather. I wanna know.
For breakfast, I had idli with some tomato onion chutney. It tasted spicy and good to start my day with.
Much to her, but if we ever meet again.
For lunch, I had parpasadam with vattakurambu. The yellow color of the parpasadam is from the turmeric added to it. For snacks, I had homemade masala peanuts. They were sweet and spicy from the peanuts and the chili powder added to it. For dinner, I had curd rice with vattakurambu. There was a little less curd today, which is why the rice looks a little dry. But it tasted good and that's all matters. For breakfast, I had parpasadam with lady's finger curry. The curry was not very spicy today, but it was a little crispy and it tasted so good. Then I had some coconut payasam for snacks. It was really hot and I had to wait for some time before eating it.
But am I happy now? Am I happy now?
For dinner, I had adai.
Are you happy now?
I know I usually show only one adai or dosa, but that's not the quantity I eat. I usually eat 2 to 3 of them and adai is heavy.
But my frame just cracked.
Since I eat as soon as it is cooked, I have to wait for the next adai to cook, which is why I show just one piece.
Had to light this up. Am I happy now?
I had this adai with butter and I accidentally dropped the butter on the side. For breakfast, I had idli with tomato onion chutney.
Through it all. Different heights.
For lunch, I had some bonda.
But it's the same old fall.
I called it kunukku in the last video, and that's a mistake on my part.
In my head saying, walk it off.
Most dishes I eat are easily veganizable, and you just have to remove the ghee or butter from it or any other dairy product present in it. And this is one of the vegan dishes with very good protein content. The batter is purely made of lentils and rice.
I feel
I didn't feel like eating rice, so I just ate this bonda.
like it's still around. But
For dinner, I had the same vada and bonda with rasam.
am I happy now? Are you happy now?
It's a little difficult to tear into because it hasn't soaked in the rasam. The longer it soaks in the rasam, more flavors you can taste and easy to tear. It was so hot. I had to wait for it to cool down a little to start eating. But this is a good meal to finish our video with. Bye bye!